I always thought betrayal happened in movies, not real life. Yet here I was, sitting in our dimly lit apartment in Chicago, holding my fiancée Lily's unlocked phone, feeling the ground beneath me crumble away. The messages from Ethan were explicit, leaving zero doubt about her betrayal. Romantic dinners, secret weekends at a lakeside cabin, whispers of a future together, everything she'd been denying for months. A mix of shock and unexpected relief swept through me. Truthfully, our relationship had been deteriorating for a while. Her emotional withdrawal, constant irritation, and reckless spending from our joint account. I'd mistakenly blamed the stress of wedding preparations, but now it all made sense. A wave of cold resolve swept through me. It was over, no second chances. Yet, life has a twisted sense of humor. The next morning, still numb, I received a call from a lawyer named Adam Collins. A distant relative, my great-uncle Richard, had passed away, leaving me an inheritance worth $5 million, including a lavish villa in Bali. I had met the man once, briefly, when I was 8. Now, inexplicably, his fortune was mine. Suddenly, my personal tragedy felt different, less like an end and more like a beginning. That evening, Lily returned home. I slid her phone across the table, displaying the evidence of her infidelity. "Who's Dylan?" I asked quietly. She paled instantly, stammering excuses I didn't care to hear. "We're done," I said simply. Her shock quickly turned into defiance. "You think you can do better than me?" she spat venomously. "I think I already did," I answered calmly, sliding documents outlining my unexpected inheritance toward her. Her face drained of color as she scanned the pages. "You're walking away from everything we've built?" she snarled, desperation flickering in her eyes. "No," I replied, unshaken. "I'm walking towards everything I deserve." Within days, I packed my life into 2 suitcases, leaving behind nothing but the echoes of her lies. Bali awaited, a fresh start, far away from Lily's deceit. 2 weeks later, I was standing on a veranda overlooking the turquoise waters of Bali. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow across my private villa, a life I never imagined I'd have. But Lily wasn't ready to let go. Messages filled my phone with venomous threats and manipulative pleas. She accused me of abandonment, financial sabotage, and even abuse, desperately trying to turn public sympathy against me. Unfazed, I reached out to my lawyer. Within a week, we filed protective orders, effectively shutting down her harassment. The public soon learned the truth when I released evidence of her affair, reckless spending, and emotional manipulation. Her carefully crafted victim narrative crumbled instantly. "You deserve better. She's toxic. Get away." Karma at its finest. Watching her carefully crafted facade implode online felt good, but it wasn't about humiliation. It was about taking my power back. Now here I stood, sipping coffee on the balcony of my luxurious new villa overlooking Bali's turquoise waves, realizing something profound. Lily hadn't broken me, she had freed me. Lily was a fighter, and not in a good way. Losing control enraged her. If she couldn't have my money or my love, she was determined to make my life miserable. Her next move was predictable, yet still caught me off guard. Days after settling into Bali, I woke up to messages flooding my phone. Friends, family, even co-workers reached out. Lily had launched a smear campaign, painting me as an abusive partner who had abandoned her. Her Instagram stories were crafted expertly, tearful pleas for support, vague accusations designed to provoke, outrage, and cleverly manipulated photos suggesting bruises that had never existed. Anger surged through me. How could someone stoop so low? Yet, instead of reacting impulsively, I gathered every shred of evidence I had. Bank statements proving her reckless spending, screenshots of her affair with Dylan, and clear proof of her emotional manipulation from past texts. This wasn't just about me. It was about my reputation, my integrity. My lawyer, Benjamin Pierce, calmly outlined our strategy. "We'll expose her lies with undeniable proof. Let her fans see exactly who they're supporting." The counterattack was swift and brutal. Within hours, we posted everything. Screenshots of Lily's secret meetups, receipts of expensive gifts she bought her lover with my money, and messages where she mocked me openly. Public sentiment shifted instantly. Comments poured in. "I can't believe I fell for her lies." "Wow, she manipulated all of us. You're better off without her." Lily's perfect victim image crumbled overnight. She went from social media darling to social outcast. Her followers turned against her in droves, disgusted by her deceit. But Lily wouldn't go quietly. Desperation pushed her to new extremes. She filed for shared custody of my beloved dog, Max, a transparent attempt to maintain a hold on my life. I refused. Max had always been my dog. She barely acknowledged him until now. Benjamin smiled confidently. Relax, Nate. With your new resources, she won't stand a chance. In court, Lily's performance was Oscar-worthy. Tears streamed down her face as she painted herself as a victim. But Benjamin was prepared. Miss Reynolds, he said calmly, could you explain these veterinary bills paid solely by Mr. Foster, or the text where you admitted you'd rather give Max away? The courtroom buzzed. Lily's composure shattered under scrutiny, her narrative unraveling publicly. Her reputation took another massive hit. When the judge granted me sole custody, Lily's face filled with defeated rage. You think you've won? You won't get away with this, she spat bitterly. But the truth was I'd already won. Her desperate attempts only reinforced that. Leaving court, Max wagging his tail beside me, I realized how drastically my life had shifted. 2 months ago, I was drowning in a toxic relationship. Now I was free, wealthy, and completely in control. Yet even as I boarded the flight back to Bali, something told me this wasn't over. Lily's silence felt ominous, a storm gathering, strength in the distance. As I settled back into my paradise, I wondered what her next move would be, and more importantly, if I'd be ready to face it. Just when I thought Lily had given up, a strange package arrived at my villa in Bali. It bore no return address, just a simple note taped on top, reading ominously, "You can't run forever." Inside the box were photographs, grainy images from a past I desperately tried to bury. Pictures of me at 22, wild parties, reckless nights, and worst of all, evidence of my darkest secret, a juvenile arrest for possession of substances, something I'd never told anyone. A chill ran down my spine. Lily had gone nuclear. She dug deep into my past, hoping to ruin my newfound reputation. I wondered how she'd managed to dig up skeletons I'd buried long ago, but it didn't matter now. The threat was clear. My past had finally caught up with me. That night, sleep escaped me. Lying awake, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazily overhead, I questioned everything. Had Lily planned this betrayal from the beginning? Had she always been looking for leverage to hold over my head? My phone vibrated again. Another unknown number. A short message flashed on the screen. "Meet me tomorrow at Cafe Lotus noon. Let's talk." My heart pounded. Could this be Lily's next move? Or something even worse? Curiosity battled caution. But in the end, curiosity won. The next day, under Bali's relentless sun, I entered Cafe Lotus. A woman waved me over from the corner table. She wore dark sunglasses, a wide-brimmed hat obscuring her face. "Who are you?" I demanded softly, sitting cautiously across from her. She lowered her sunglasses, revealing warm, intelligent eyes. "My name's Claire. I'm Dylan's wife." My blood turned cold. Dylan, the man Lily cheated with, what was his wife doing here? Claire smiled bitterly. "We share a common enemy. Your ex destroyed my marriage too, but she underestimated me. I've got information you need." She slid a folder across the table filled with documents and screenshots. I flipped through them, disbelief washing over me. Lily had not only targeted me, but Dylan as well. She had manipulated him into investing heavily in her failing online boutique, draining his savings. The texts showed her cold calculation, playing on Dylan's emotions as she did mine. Claire leaned forward, voice low but fierce. "She planned everything, Nate. She never intended to marry you. She saw you as a stepping stone, a backup plan. She was always after your money." I felt nauseous. The woman I thought I knew was a complete stranger. Every moment of our relationship flashed before me, tainted with this new, sinister truth. Claire's voice softened. "Listen, I know what you're feeling. I felt it too. But she's dangerous. She'll stop at nothing. If you want to stop her, we have to act now." "What do you suggest?" I asked warily. "We expose her completely," Claire said firmly. "She can't manipulate if everyone knows exactly who she is." It was risky, but Claire was right. Lily thrived in secrecy, in shadows. Dragging her into the open was our best chance. That evening, we sat in my villa, compiling evidence, preparing for the final strike. My heart raced with anxiety and anger. Lily had tried to ruin my life, my reputation, and my future. Now it was time to take the power back. Hours later, Claire left. Alone again, staring out at the calm, starry sky over Bali, my resolve solidified. I wouldn't be a victim anymore. Lily's twisted game had gone on too long, and now her reign was about to end. Yet something nagged at the back of my mind, a feeling that even this move wouldn't be enough. Lily was cunning, always one step ahead. What if she had planned, even this? What if meeting Claire wasn't accidental? I shook off the thought. Paranoia wouldn't help me now. Tomorrow everything would change. We'd release the truth, destroy her facade, and finally be free. But as dawn broke over Bali, my phone buzzed again, a single message from Lily herself. "You're playing with fire, Nate. Be careful. You might just get burned." A shiver crept down my spine. The real battle was only just beginning. Lily's message haunted me. Each word echoed ominously as the sun rose above Bali's gentle waves. I couldn't help but feel I was walking into a trap. Yet there was no turning back. Exposing her was my only chance to reclaim my peace. At precisely noon, Claire and I published everything online. Screenshots, financial records, even her manipulative conversations. The truth about Lily flooded social media like wildfire, impossible for her to escape. For a moment, relief surged through me. But my relief was short-lived. Minutes after posting, my phone exploded with notifications, not supportive, but angry accusations. Confused, I scanned comments filled with fury directed not at Lily, but at me. Wow, Nate, stooping this low. Destroying a woman's life out of spite? Pathetic. Thought you were better than this. I couldn't breathe. Somehow Lily had anticipated our move. She had spun the narrative first, painting Claire and me as bitter exes conspiring against her. Her posts detailed elaborate lies about blackmail and emotional torment. My hands shook uncontrollably. Lily was always one step ahead. She had turned my biggest weapon, the truth, into her strongest defense. Claire called, panic evident in her voice. "Nate, did you see this? She's twisted everything. People actually believe her." "I see it," I replied grimly. "But how did she know we were coming?" Claire hesitated. "Nate, there's something I didn't mention. Dylan reached out to Lily last night. I think he warned her." My stomach dropped. Betrayed again. This time by Dylan, who had become Lily's puppet once more. Was there anyone left to trust? I felt trapped, cornered. But then, an unexpected call changed everything. "Mr. Foster," came my lawyer's steady voice. "There's a development. Someone came forward claiming they have crucial evidence against Lily Reynolds." My heart skipped. "Who?" "Her former assistant, Emma Baker. She says she can prove Lily orchestrated your entire downfall, financial sabotage, the affair, everything." Hope surged within me. Could this finally be the breakthrough? I arranged to meet Emma that evening. She arrived nervous, clutching her laptop tightly. "I'm sorry," she began, her voice trembling. "I knew about Lily's plans, but she threatened to destroy my career if I spoke out." "It's okay," I reassured her gently. "Show me everything." Emma revealed meticulous records, bank transfers, hidden emails, even recorded phone conversations proving Lily planned to marry me only for financial gain. Most shocking of all was Lily's plot to frame me as abusive, a calculated strategy. From the beginning, anger burned inside me, replacing any lingering fear. "We'll release this immediately," I said determinedly. Emma shook her head nervously. "She has powerful allies, Nate. Be careful." But caution was no longer an option. I uploaded Emma's revelations publicly. This time, the evidence was overwhelming, undeniable proof of Lily's manipulation and betrayal. Public opinion shifted again, this time permanently. Unbelievable, Lily's pure evil. "Nate, we owe you an apology." She deserves everything coming her way. Lily's empire collapsed overnight. Brand deals evaporated, her boutique folded, and friends abandoned her rapidly. Victory felt closer than ever, but I underestimated Lily once again. The next morning, a loud knock shattered the quiet of my villa. Opening the door revealed two stern-faced officers. "Mr. Foster," one said gravely, "you need to come with us." My blood ran cold. "On what grounds?" "Allegations of financial fraud," he replied firmly. "You've been accused of embezzling money from Lily Reynolds' business." I laughed incredulously. "You're joking, right? She set me up." The officer's expression remained serious. "Tell that to the judge." At the police station, confusion turned into horror. Lily had planted fake financial documents implicating me. Her last move was to drag me down with her. My lawyer rushed in, visibly tense. "She's desperate, Nate, but these allegations won't hold once the court sees the evidence." I nodded numbly. Lily wasn't just vindictive, she was dangerous. The woman I'd once loved was now determined to destroy me at any cost. As the cell door closed behind me, reality sank in. The stakes had never been higher. If I didn't outsmart Lily soon, I wouldn't just lose my reputation, I'd lose my freedom. But even trapped behind bars, one thought kept me focused. Lily had underestimated me for the last time. Now, it was my turn. I sat in the holding cell, the cold concrete walls pressing in around me, a stark contrast to my luxury villa in Bali. My mind raced with fear and anger. wondering how Lily had managed to trap me once again. I had underestimated her cunning, and now I was paying the price. Hours passed before Benjamin finally arrived, his face confident yet concerned. "Relax, Nate," he assured calmly. "This is just a desperate attempt by Lily to hurt you. It won't stick." "How do you know?" I asked, bitterly, feeling drained. "Because she messed up," he replied confidently. "We traced the embezzlement accusations back to a bank account she secretly set up in your name. Her fingerprints are all over it, figuratively and literally. Trust me, her arrogance has finally caught up to her." Relief washed over me, but bitterness lingered. Lily had become a master manipulator. I wondered how I'd missed so many red flags early on. But none of that mattered now. All that mattered was ending this nightmare once and for all. Benjamin worked swiftly. Within hours I was free, charges dropped completely, but freedom wasn't enough. Not anymore. Lily had crossed too many lines, hurt too many people. It was time to put an end to her twisted games forever. We decided on one final tactic, a legal strike so decisive she'd have nowhere left to run. My lawyer meticulously built a defamation and fraud case against Lily, accumulating overwhelming evidence to ensure she'd never harm anyone again. Weeks passed, each day tense, as we prepared for court. Lily, confident she'd broken me, was blindsided by our aggressive move. When she received notice of our countersuit, desperation consumed her. "Stop this madness," she messaged frantically, her facade slipping. "We can still work this out privately." I smiled bitterly, reading her desperate pleas. She wasn't sorry, she was cornered, and I had no intention of backing down. The courtroom was packed, media eager for the drama we'd inadvertently created. Lily arrived dressed impeccably, portraying herself as the innocent victim once again. Fragile, betrayed, misunderstood. She testified first, playing to the gallery, shedding carefully calculated tears. "He ruined my life," she cried theatrically, her voice quivering. "He stole my dreams, my reputation." When my turn came, I remained calm, presenting the damning evidence clearly and concisely. Her affair, her theft, her manipulations exposed for all to see. Yet, just as victory seemed certain, Lily dropped another bombshell. One last desperate move. "Your Honor," she declared suddenly, standing defiantly, "there's something Nate isn't telling you. He knowingly concealed assets from our joint accounts overseas, funds he never disclosed." My heart sank. Was she really trying to fabricate more accusations? But before panic could take hold, my lawyer smoothly intervened. "Actually, Your Honor," Benjamin interjected firmly, handing over additional documents. "These accounts were opened, illegally by Ms. Reynolds herself, attempting to frame my client." The judge frowned deeply, scanning through the proof. Silence blanketed the room, tense and heavy. "Ms. Reynolds," the judge finally spoke, voice icy. "Your deception here is both clear and disturbing. This court finds in favor of Mr. Foster on all counts." The gavel slammed down sharply, echoing through the courtroom. Relief washed over me, profound and pure. Lily, defeated, crumbled visibly, her shoulders sagging in surrender. Cameras flashed, capturing the exact moment she realized she'd lost everything. Credibility, sympathy, and any chance of salvaging her reputation. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed, eager for a statement. I stepped forward calmly, the chaos feeling strangely distant. "All I ever wanted was peace," I began softly. "But sometimes peace means fighting for truth. I hope today proves no one is above accountability." The crowd murmured agreement, cameras flashing rapidly. My victory wasn't about money or revenge. It was about reclaiming my dignity, my life, my freedom. Later, back at my villa, overlooking Bali's tranquil waters, I reflected on everything. Lily's attempts to destroy me had failed spectacularly. She had gambled everything on deceit and lost, yet something still nagged at me. It felt too easy, too neat. Lily wasn't someone who gave up quietly. I had a feeling she had one final move left, something dangerous, something desperate. That night, as I locked every door, checked every window, anxiety gnawed at my nerves. What if winning the court battle wasn't the end, but the beginning of something darker? I could only wait and hope I'd be ready for whatever came next. Days passed quietly, lulling me into a false sense of security. Life in Bali was idyllic, sun-soaked days, peaceful nights. Yet beneath my newfound tranquility, a sense of dread lingered. Lily was too quiet, and silence from someone like her usually meant trouble. One warm afternoon, while sorting through old boxes left by my great-uncle, I stumbled upon something peculiar, an unopened envelope hidden deep inside an antique desk drawer. Curious, I opened it and found a handwritten letter dated just weeks before Eleanor's death. "Nate, if you're reading this, something terrible has happened," it began ominously. My pulse quickened as I continued. "I've uncovered disturbing facts about Lily. She's not who you think she is. She's done this before. Married wealthy men, destroyed their reputations, drained their finances. She's dangerous. Protect yourself." Shock coursed through my body. Eleanor had discovered Lily's true nature long before I had, perhaps explaining why she chose me to inherit her estate, to give me leverage against Lily's deception. But how had my elderly great-aunt known so much about Lily? Was their connection deeper than I realized? Driven by a new urgency, I contacted Eleanor's attorney again, demanding answers. "Eleanor hired private investigators when she heard you were engaged," Adam revealed carefully. "She was worried for you, Nate. Lily targeted you deliberately." Head spun. My engagement, our relationship, everything had been a calculated trap set by Lily. The woman I'd loved was not just manipulative, she was predatory. Anger surged, fueling a resolve I'd never felt before. I decided to confront Lily directly, ending this game once and for all. Using a secure line, I called her. Her voice, oddly calm, answered immediately. "I wondered how long it would take," she said coldly. "Did you enjoy Eleanor's letter?" "You manipulated everything," I accused bitterly. "Was anything real?" She laughed darkly. "You really think you were special? You were just another paycheck? Except this time, it backfired." I gripped the phone tightly, fury building. "It's over, Lily. Everyone knows what you are." She paused, then replied ominously, "Enjoy your life in Bali, Nate. Watch your back." The call ended abruptly, leaving me shaken. I alerted security at the villa, prepared for anything. Days stretched into tense weeks, yet nothing happened. Eventually, I allowed myself to breathe again. Maybe Lily had finally given up. Months later, my life had fully blossomed. My investments grew rapidly, my social circle expanded, and I even met someone new, Isabella, a kind-hearted photographer with a smile that restored my faith in love. Just when Lily felt like a distant nightmare, the shocking news came through. A mutual friend messaged me urgently. "Turn on the news now." On TV, Lily's image flashed brightly, but her glamour had vanished. She stood in handcuffs, head down, accused of defrauding multiple wealthy men across 3 states. The evidence was damning. My exposure of her schemes had led authorities to uncover her extensive history of deceit. I watched numbly, feeling oddly empty rather than triumphant. Karma had caught up with her more brutally than I ever could. The woman who had nearly destroyed me was now facing a lifetime behind bars. That evening, Isabella wrapped her arms around me, sensing my conflicted emotions. "It's finally over," she whispered gently, brushing her fingers against mine. "Yes," I replied softly, realizing it was true. The chapter with Lily was finally closed, leaving nothing but a fading memory. Yet as Isabella leaned against me, watching the sunset paint the sky in vibrant oranges, I knew Lily's betrayal had served a purpose. Without it, I wouldn't have found true happiness or understood my own strength. "Do you regret anything?" Isabella asked quietly, sensing my thoughts. "No," I replied, smiling softly. "Because losing everything I thought mattered showed me what really does. Life had dealt me a brutal hand, but I emerged stronger, wealthier, and genuinely happy. Lily tried to destroy me. Instead, she'd unintentionally led me to paradise. And here, in Bali's tranquil embrace with someone who genuinely cared beside me, I finally understood. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is simply living your best life. That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought, or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.